Hello and welcome to today's men's mental health video. What am I going to talk about today? Mixture of emotions, if I'm being honest. I had quite an interesting turn of events recently. I had a few good conversations today. I just come off a podcast actually, which really made a great positive difference. Interviewing a multi-millionaire who gave me some really life-changing advice. I don't, I haven't applied it yet, but the key is to implement it, obviously. And I've written the things down. He told me to visualize for 10 minutes twice a day. Told me to read Psycho Cybernetics. Let's see if I've still got that book. And he told me to watch School of Hard Knocks. So I'm going to commit to watching those three every single day. Doing those three things. Depending if I got the book, if not, I'll order it. So that was wow. Like, it's just for me, like, I know people are going to disagree with this, and I'm just going to say my truth. I've never met an evil or greedy rich person. I've only ever met heart-driven, caring people with a lot of money. Like, every rich person I've met just cares. They want to give, they want to give value. Do they sell all their programs? Of course they sell their programs, right? Because they have a good relationship with money. I've never met anyone, like personally, had a conversation, someone who was greedy or bad with money. Right, sorry. Someone who was rich and wasn't from the heart. I'm not saying in the world there aren't greedy people with a lot of money, because apparently there is. But you could know of someone, but I haven't known someone personally I've talked to who's been rich, and every rich person I've met is just kind-hearted. So that kind of dispels the myth that rich people are evil, because it's the opposite. They're loving. That's a really good belief to have, because if you think rich people are evil, how are you going to become one? Because you're going to be against that, right? So that was a big insight. I've had an opportunity come my way to potentially lead breathwork in my city. Could be a big jump, but I think I could really serve people in my city and in my area of the world. So it'd be a good opportunity to really grow into that. So that's maybe a big change, and I'm really considering direction in my life. Loving my podcast interviews; it's really good fun. Emotionally, I've been a bit up and down. Yeah, I've got something in my side of my face, trying to scratch off. Yeah, I've kind of emotions have been a bit interesting. And I was talking to a friend earlier, and I think there's a bit of a food hangover, not alcohol hangover because I haven't drunk for ages. But I mean, like food hangover. Food can still impact your emotions and mood, I believe. Like alcohol, when I had alcohol, I'd be in anxiety and depression for days. But food can impact you as well. And then I felt all these emotions, but I realized it was just sadness underneath. And I've come to a good, it's a good kind of sadness, as crazy as it sounds, whereby you actually feel honest with yourself and you get into your heart and feel sad about what a situation. There's a person that I felt I was very close to over a short period of time, who I've unfortunately had to disconnect from. And I realised I quite miss her, and it's really impacting me. Even though it's crazy logically as like a very short spell, but yeah, I got very honest about that. It started impacting me. I know there's a lot of things to work through. I'm excited for all this work, this healing stuff I'm doing. I'm excited to implement what I've just been given. But yeah, I think being honest with how you're really feeling is really helpful for mental health, because you can feel angry, stressed, and blame other people, but there's usually some kind of sadness underneath. And that was a realization for me. And you can get back into the heart a lot more. Got quite a few things to do tonight. It's coming up to 11 o'clock. Ideally, I want to get to bed before 1 this morning. Yeah, life's interesting at the moment. There's things come in, but yeah, just things to feel through as well. And when I can cry and feel these things, it's quite healing in a way. Yeah, as long as I'm doing my daily things, even if I do a little less effort and care for myself, that's important. I'm glad I've got new community and people in my life, and actually people quite local to me into the same thing. That sort of maybe not the same city, but a city not too far away, maybe even London. I've got some new friends from there. I've got my friends obviously in my city and my long time friends, but as you evolve sometimes when you're working on to deep spiritual things, it's not always the conversation you could have with the lads after a game of football and just general lad things. But yeah, it's good that I'm in that area. Those people are great too, don't get me wrong, but it's good to have people around locally that I'm developing connections with who are in the same sort of space of doing this deep work with me. I can speak to, not just on Zoom as well. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I don't know what I'm gonna call this episode, but I'm gonna sign off for tonight.